Last week I went to Cancun to judge Best American Bartender competition. Thank you to all competitors, organizers, and especially to Herbert for bringing me over. If you guys new to competitions, I recommend to watch my video on how to prepare for first competition. But if you already competing and trying to improve, then this video is for you. So there are a few tips, recommendations I wanted to point out how bartenders can improve their overall performance. First, and I think one of the most important mistakes that competitors couldn't finish in time. I would recommend don't wait until the last second and then just rush finishing your drinks. Penalties are really big if you go overtime, so I would recommend to leave at least 30-40 seconds at the end of your routine to finish drinks and then present them nicely on napkin. And maybe at the end you still can do like a big moves, but make sure you always finish your drinks in time. Next, make sure you focus on quality of drinks. Seems like a lot of bartenders prepared really well their Flair routine, but the cocktail just didn't taste really good. Like there was 300 points total for Flair for skills and 60 points for cocktails. And after we put scores together, even those guys who did really good in Flair, they didn't have tasty cocktail, and that's what pushed them out of top 5. So it's really important to focus on the taste of your cocktail. Next, when you go on stage, you need to focus all your energy to put in a big show. Seems like a lot of bartenders, they had big crazy moves, but it's just it didn't feel like they were enjoying it. And also you could see that they didn't have really big crowd reactions, even though their moves were really impressive. Important to have high energy, good smile. If you're really serious and focused only on your moves, it's just not gonna look that impressive. So you need to keep learning these connections between audience, between judges, and try to do your best to put in a great performance. Speaking of connection with audience, I wouldn't recommend to ask a crowd to clap for you like too many times. There was a lot of bartenders who actually were doing it like just every 20-30 seconds, asking crowd to cheer for them. It's important to actually get connection with crowd, but you could do it like maybe every minute or so, or maybe at the beginning, at the middle, and at the end of your routine. But you don't have to like asking crowd too much to cheer for you, just because you will do it a few times and eventually they will just like stop clapping for you, just because you need to impress with your performance, not just asking them over and over again to cheer. In the previous video, how to prepare for competition, I explained how it's important to have nice, good looking equipment, but a lot of bartenders still use like bad looking scratch top shakers. It didn't look that good, especially when you make good high quality cocktails in the bad looking shakers. It gets attention from judges and possibly from your audience. You're not getting deductions for that, but in my mind, if you go and perform, you should look like a champion. You should stand out, and when it comes to everything, your appearance, your equipment, your performance. Next would be performing exhibition show Flair with the syrups. Basically, I would recommend to use syrups for your working Flair, because a lot of bartenders, I get what they're trying to do. They think that it's harder to spill syrups, but once you spill a little bit, it's not so easy to wipe it off, and then your hands get sticky, you start dropping more and more, and then anything you touch already getting sticky too, and it could slow down your performance. Maybe you will be behind your time. It might affect quality of your drink. So I would recommend to do all show exhibition Flair just with regular spirits, but no syrup. Okay, another mistakes bartenders were doing that got my attention. They doing the same moves, the same routines, but with different objects. So like for example, when they do something with 2 bottles and you could see it's the same start, like for example behind the back and doing few moves and shadow pass, pam pam pam, doing, doesn't matter, small or big moves, but then they finish and then they, let's say, take either bottle shaker or 2 shaker and 1 bottle, and they do exactly the same thing. They go and then throw, and then with almost the same way do like a shadow pass and on. Same moves but with different objects. After like watching bartenders for a minute or two, judges started noticing. If you're a professional judge, you would notice it right away. And of course, if you like really being repetitive, your audience will notice that too, and wouldn't get like big big reaction. So it's really important to include more variety. When you actually practicing your routine, I highly would recommend to film yourself. Maybe at the beginning you wouldn't spot, you think that okay, my routine have plenty of variety, but then once you film yourself a couple of times, you will be like, oh my god, I can't believe this is exactly the same move, and then I just keep doing it over and over again. Too many objects, too many drops. I should have pointed on this mistake way earlier, just because to me it was one of the biggest deductions. You could see that bartenders not prepared to throw such big moves. First of all, it looked bad when you dropped, and even if you didn't really drop, like you could see the routine just doesn't look smooth. Lots of bartenders didn't do like a flow, nice transitions and then a big move. So routine looked really rough. For example, they started working Flair just like 1-2 objects, and then already started doing 4 and 5, and it wasn't just smooth. You could see that they like wasting a lot of time. Just grab shakers, step out in the middle of the stage, do like and then do the big move. You need to learn how to control crowds, just because crowd's not gonna cheer if you will do big move after big move after big move, especially when you're not ready for it or drop like every second or third time. So it's really important to have a nice flow. Like a lot of bartenders, you could see they're very experienced and they were doing a like nice routine, good few transitions, bam, big move, and that gets crowd going. And then after that, they don't have to do already like big move. They trying to do like nice transitions, original creative moves, and then big move again. So you could see that crowd wouldn't like go crazy move after move. I really would recommend to build your routine. And yes, another one that bartenders came to perform, and they tried moves that I don't even think they hit them more than 3-4 times out of 10, and they still try them on stage. You could even see that seems like the move was so far from landing, is not even close. So that's why to all beginners, even advanced bartenders, I would recommend to practice move 10 out of 10 and only then do it on stage, just because remember, it's always harder to do it on stage. You start getting nervous more if your move's not ready to show to your judges and to crowd. This video will help you to improve your performance and get higher scores at the next competition. Thank you guys for standing till the end, and if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, and as always, hit the like button like this and I'll see you next week.